You know, a lot of people out there like me really like Spider-Man. But many people, including kids nowadays, forget that there was one time when Spider-Man was on the big screen. And that was in 2002 with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. This film was the biggest hit out of any Marvel movie at the time, from Blade to X-Men. If you can tell how campy it is, that's what Sam Raimi was doing. The director of the Evil Dead movies is a big Spider-Man fan who filled the shoes in for James Cameron right after he left the project. And what they did with it, I'm strangely still okay with this. I'm okay with this franchise even after nearly 20 years after its release. Now that makes it 18 years since it came out. Tobey Maguire, I don't know what's the better Spider-Man, because it's going to take me from this film to Andrew Garfield to Tom Holland. It's going to be really hard for me to figure this out. But let's just go to the bare minimum of the story that we got in 2002. You all know it. It's Peter Parker being a awkward teenager, super smart at what he likes to do, takes pictures, and tries to talk to girls like Mary Jane Watson, played by Kristen Dunst. She's fine in this story. I don't really see her. I mean, yeah, she is a nice lady, but there is more to the MJ character than we all know. And truth be told, they do get that somewhat in the Tom Holland films. But this was still at the time when they couldn't write comic book movies. And they did do comic book movies, they just didn't know that much when more comic books came out by the 80s and 90s. James Franco plays the Green Goblin's son, Harry Osborn, and the father is Norman Osborn, played by Willem Dafoe, who just came off of the Oscar season's The Lighthouse, which is another film that I saw recently, and I will be touching upon that. This is Willem Dafoe at his yumminess. He really acts like the Green Goblin, even starting to get the transformation and the split personality in his head. If I could compare this to Joker, played by Jack Nicholson, and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, they bring their energy and over-the-topness to their roles. They did start to follow the comic books, right? This is where it gets faithful, because this is a time where comic book movies weren't being taken seriously after the disastrous Batman and Robin. And Steel. Can't forget that. But nonetheless, Spider-Man is a greater installment to a Sam Raimi trilogy. The effects did start to get a little okay, but this is where everything was CG'd and every character was being in a green screen room. From the balloon scenes to Spider-Man jumping across buildings and Peter Parker just jumping on them buildings when he's already in his Spider-Man powers. It's fine for the time. And we did get better at the CG effects. Remember, CG is still at the time where we started to use it as a tool since the early 90s. And you can thank Jurassic Park for that, to which you can thank Toy Story for that. I can safely say that I am still a fan of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Even if the people who grew up with me watched these films don't really like it as much as they did. I'm okay with the campiness. I like superhero movies or any superhero stories with a little campiness. Can you really take a Spider-Man story with the campiness of those original stories? I mean, Fantastic Four is cheesy, corny, but can you really take that in a dark and gritty direction like Spider-Man did? It's hard to do, but you gotta pick the right source material. Spider-Man gets 3.5 stars. It only gets better from here. So stick around and I'll give you my thoughts of Spider-Man 2 next time.